Alt Funds Global presents What is Private Credit and Why is it Booming in Today's Economic and Tariff War Environment?
All of the information presented is for entertainment and information purposes only. Nothing discussed constitutes legal or accounting advice, an offer or solicitation of financial services, or financial advice of any kind. Our goal is to showcase alternative vehicles to raise capital. At no point will we be soliciting any investment programs.
Hello, everybody. Okay, so today, once again, we have the fabulous founder of Alt Funds Global, Taimour Zaman. Hello. How are you today?
Hi.
All right, so today it's all about private credit. Now, what the heck is private credit, Taimour, and why, in today's economic and tariff war, is private credit booming?
So imagine a group of credit investors, people who like investing get together, and they either have their money or they go to the market and they raise money, and it's raised, let's say, $500 million. They will look for companies that need capital, that have collateral. Most likely they've been growing really fast. They need more capital than the bank's going to give them, and they'll jump in and say, I'll give you the capital you need to grow. Now, it's a private corporation that's doing this, so typically it's called private credit. This area of what I call shadow banking is over $1 trillion. So this is a massively growing industry within financial services. And I want to tell you a couple of things about it that's very unique. First of all, private credit will say, let's say we have a domain expertise in AI. Your local banker wouldn't have necessarily local expertise in AI, but private credit guys that came together may have that expertise. So as part of giving you the loan, they're saying, okay, how else can I give you my expertise to make sure you're successful to grow? Most often, but not always, but most often they don't want equity. So it's a very good way to grow your business without giving ownership of your business to somebody who wants equity. Now, when a business needs money, obviously you can go to friends and family. If you have a line of credit or something, you can go to the bank, you go to investors. Typically, a lot of people don't want to go and manage investors because you got to manage your expectations. Sometimes the market does this and investors expecting something a lot sooner, it's just a nightmare. Private credit allows you to grow to a group of people that understand your business. They want to loan you money, give you just a straight loan. But more important, they want to be helpful. They want to give you consultants or something like that's part of the deal that they're paying for. Mind you, end of the day, you're paying for it. But still, they give you consultants that have domain expertise in whatever it is you're doing to make sure you're successful at the growth you're doing. So that's what I think makes it really interesting on that. And let me tell you, since Trump's tariffs war have started, I've been able to close a lot more deals using private credit than traditional banks.
Interesting. What do you think the change was? Obviously, Trump's tariffs, but why is that? I'm just going to go a little bit deeper on that.
Yeah. Let me give you a story.
We love stories.
So Trump wants to bring manufacturing into the United States. Cost of the United States, the cost of labor in the US is a lot higher than it is in Vietnam, as an example. So some of Apple's products that sells for $1,000, if you now bring it to the US, because the cost of labor is higher, you're not paying $3,000 as a customer. So do you want to pay $3,000 for that iPhone when in the past you were paying $1,000?
Right.
I don't, right? Now, here's the thing. Imagine you're the bank and you have 5,000 customers, and each one of them, when they want to borrow money, they don't need to borrow $1,000 anymore. They're all asking for $3,000. So you have the same number of customers asking for loans, but they're not asking for $1,000 loans. 50 of them are asking for $3,000 loans. Well, if you have $100,000, $50,000 as a bank, if that's the amount of liquid capital you have so many people now asking for money because they have to. Price of goods, the price of equipment's gone up, price of this gone up, like that.
Yeah.
Now, one of the concerns you have as a bank is, I only have $5 in my till. I don't have 5 trillion. I only have $5.
Yeah.
How much loans can I get? Now, the bank will be going, okay, markets have tumbled down a little bit or a lot, depending on your perspective. We may be heading towards a recession or not, depending on your perspective like that. So now the bank is a lot more risk averse. It has people asking, same customers are asking for more money. They have, they don't have as much money to give to everybody because markets also come down. So you have that challenge with the bank. So now the bank's a lot more careful about every penny they want to give you.
Right.
As a customer, that brings you, if you are growing your business and you need bridge loans from banks to survive, or you need capital from a bank to survive, now you've got a major problem. You need to go look for alternative funding in order to grow your business.
It's absolutely brilliant. And truly, I love that there are obviously alt funds. Global does private funds, but we're going to talk about private credit, but we're going to talk about that shortly. But what I love about this is that there was already a need, but now because of the Trump tariffs, now it has increased that need substantially, and it was already difficult to get the credit from the banks, and now it's even exponentially more difficult.
You're right.
And so essentially, the beautiful thing is that there are such a thing as getting private credit. And just to sum this up, what I also love about it is that they're not taking equity for the most part.
Right.
Brilliant.
Right.
It's actually a win-win-win-win-win in any economy.
Yeah. So I'll tell you 3 things about private credit that I like. If you watch some of our case studies, testimonials with the providers we work with, each one of them will say we fund within a week. Now, not everybody gets funded within a week. So, if you don't have the paperwork, you don't have a business plan, there's 5,000 reasons not everybody gets funded within a week, but they act a lot, they move a lot faster than banks do. In not all cases, but in many cases, they'll give you a consultant to help you grow your business, who understands your sector. And if you click with a consultant and you really feel they're bringing value, I think it's a good deal because your bank is not giving you a consultant. As a business owner, sometimes having people with expertise in your industry could really help you out. Move faster. They'll give you all the funding you need versus a bank may want to give you partial, and they support you with resources. And they're not taking equity, it's just pure debt, which is the cheapest form of capital.
Yeah. And I can't even imagine if somebody only gets a partial loan from a bank, it keeps them in a bit of a panic situation.
Right.
Where they have to make stuff happen as opposed to having it feels like with private credit, it's a level of abundance where you are abundant because you have this business plan, it's super solid, or else you wouldn't have gotten the credit. And you're not going to be in a position where you're still having to scrape. You could just go full steam ahead with your team and get the results.
Right.
Love it. So why are pension funds pouring billions into private credit then?
So, Cindy, imagine I'm your pension fund, whoever I am.
Sure.
And I took your life savings or portion of your life savings, and my job is to give you a pension when you retire. And I put some or all of your money in the stock market. I didn't think the tariff war would start. I didn't think the stock market would plummet. And guess what? Oopsie. If I took $60 of your life savings, I need to be able to pay you out that plus interest when you retire. And now your $60 just became $10.
Yeah.
Now, what I didn't say is all pension funds are risking your money and putting money in the stock market, but definitely the performance of the stock market impacts your pension. Why a lot of pension funds love private credit is that the private credit guy, when they're giving a loan, they're taking collateral. The collateral is hard collateral. Pension funds put money into things that pay them on a monthly basis.
Okay.
So they will buy a wireless tower. Why? Because when you and I are using our cell phones and we're paying every month the cell phone company, a portion of that has to go to the wireless tower guy who is providing the signal. So pension fund that buys a wireless tower, as example, for that's $100, is getting $5 every month, as long as that tower is in existence, which is forever or 100 years, whatever it is. They'll make their money and then some.
Wow.
So these pension funds find private credit to be it's a debt instrument. It pays interest and it's backed by some kind of a collateral, real estate, some IP, some kind of a collateral. It's a much better, safer bet than putting your money in the stock market, my opinion. And that's one of the trends that I see.
I think that's brilliant because it's practically guaranteed. I mean, these towers aren't going to knock over and like. We're all addicted to our devices, people. Like, that's as an example. That's absolutely brilliant because we're so trained of like, we need mutual funds. We need I love this. It's amazing. Now, I kind of slipped up earlier and said, well, Alt Funds Global does provide private credit to its customers because I was so excited about this ability for business owners to realize their dreams in a way that is just truly brilliant. So tell us more about what you do specifically at Alt Funds Global.
So we're not a bank. We don't represent a bank. We don't solicit something. And if there's somebody else who makes that legal representation, if anything, I provide a concierge service. And the reason why you choose me is because I'm solution agnostic. So I'm not trying to sell you a private bank provider. We're working with a few of them. So I want to give you a case study of story. We have a client, he's a real estate developer. The guy's been a developer since he was, I think, 17 years old. Like he was building homes and houses at the age of 17. Now he's over 50 years old. And he had a project that needed $25 million to buy this particular land. And then he had to build on it. And he had arranged all the financing when it came to building on the land. But he needs $25 million to buy it. He needs to zone it like this, that become what's called shovel ready. So it's all the funding to a shovel ready. Guess what? He's maxed out all of his credit lines, everything else that he can with the bank. And now when he wants to go to a bank, the bank wants collateral on all the other projects he's doing, and they're not going to move fast. The seller is saying, look, I'll give you this, say this land for, let's say, $25 million, but you got to close tomorrow. Like you can't wait till like next year or something like that. So once we got that, we gave him two options, which I thought were phenomenal. One was to take him to private credit. Literally within 3 days, I got him a draft offer. And the private credit said, yeah, I can give you this amount of funding. This is my rate, and I can close right now. Like he can close right now. Like he doesn't have to give him his right arm, left arm, his firstborn, secondborn as collateral. He's using the land as a collateral. Second option is that I have a program called Rent a Rich Uncle. All I do is I go to a bank and I buy CDs from the bank on two conditions. I'm not the one bringing the collateral. I'm not providing collateral. I'm not investing in the guy's business. Somebody else is like, I'm not taking the risk. I'm just bringing liquidity to the bank. So we were able to go to his bank and say, what if I put up $30 million and I'm buying CDs from you for $30 million? Guess what? You now have at least $25 million to loan to this guy. That was a game changer for the bank. As we're doing this video now, they've gone back to the underwriting table to underwriters. And I'm expecting a proposal term sheet coming from his bank next week. Now that's kind of like, it's not necessarily private capital directly, but so lookalike is similar to it. I'm just going to his bank and bringing liquidity to the bank. His job is to bring collateral to the bank that the bank accepts. But now a guy who said no becomes a yes.
I'm speechless and not surprised. Because one of the things about you is that you think so far outside the box about creating these win-wins and finding possibilities and the cracks that nobody else sees. And you're like, ooh, there's a crack that nobody else is seeing. Yeah. And I think it's absolutely brilliant, Taimour. Like it's brilliant. Because you're basically investing in them so they invest in your people.
Right. Right.
But it's a win because them investing, yeah, because then you're able to get it's brilliant. I'm just like speechless right now. I think it's amazing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So my question to you is that there's probably some people watching going, I think I might want to do this private credit with Alt Funds Global. What do you look for?
That's a great question.
If somebody, yeah, like what do you look for? Are they looking for a certain amount, or is it more about the business plan?
Yeah.
Or tell me more about that.
Yeah, so I only serve one market. A lot of people don't understand the market and they claim to be that market and they're not. The market that I serve is accredited investor. Accredited investor in the US is somebody whose minimum net worth is $2.1 million. In Canada, somebody who's got $4 million in assets. That's the only market I serve. For reasons I don't understand, I find people in third world countries who will become a member of my organization, try to book a call, and try to bring donkeys out of Africa or something and saying, I want to loan for these donkeys. And I was like, so I just want to tell you who I don't serve. And there are other phenomenal organizations in places like Africa or wherever, third world countries, that's what they do. It's not my market.
Yeah.
So given that that's not my market, so my market are accredited investors.
I'm now having visions of the $2 million donkey. Yeah. What is this donkey made of? Diamonds? Like.
My investor hopefully speaks English. I like the ones that speak English because everybody in my company team speaks English.
That's right.
So it will be a credit investor. For private credit, what's easy is you demonstrate you have growth. You bring audited financial statements for the past 3 years, 5 years, or something like that, that demonstrates you have growth. Not you started the business 3 months ago. That's not demonstrating growth. That's like you're looking for a startup investor, not that. You're an established company, you can demonstrate growth for past minimum 3 years. And you can demonstrate you have purchase orders or something else for the next 3 years, 6 months, 5 years like that. And private credit is giving money because they want to be part of the growth. A lot of people don't understand that. A lot of joker brokers, they'll bring junk transactions to me. Private credit, and they don't understand, look at the guy's financials. Have him prove to you or have her prove to you they're growing. Where's the growth? It has to be audited financial statements, not, my son can put together a financial statement, not that one.
The golden donkey.
But that's the market I'm surveying.
Yeah.
The interest rates of private credit are not bank rates. So bank rates could be prime plus 5 or prime plus 7 or prime like that.
Yeah.
Private credit is a little bit more expensive. You're starting at 10%. It doesn't go up. It doesn't go more than 18%. So it's expensive capital. But look, if the guy can close this week for you, and the project that you're making is going to make you millions of dollars, do you really care? If the guy can execute fast, and his rates are, I would say, market rates, reasonable, and he's not taking equity, it's a business decision for a client to make.
Yeah, and from my perspective, as a business owner, I look at that and I'm like, my time is money.
Right.
That extra 5%, whatever that is that you're paying, 5-10%, right? That you're paying, how much time, how much money have you lost by the time you've tried to go through a bank a year later?
Right.
It's like, and on top of that, because you're vetting people so brilliantly, that they already need to have 3 years of profits and that they're growing, and like somebody like that, they're not going to care about a quote unquote higher interest rate, because I don't think it is a higher interest rate when you look at the whole picture of it.
Agree.
From a business standpoint.
100% agree.
Somebody like that who's already a go-getter and they're already increasing profits, they've got a proven track record. They're going to zoom through and they're going to grow super fast because they've got everything that they need. I think it's absolutely brilliant, Taimour.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think so too.
Any final words before we tell people to contact you if they qualify?
No, I really enjoyed my time with you. I enjoyed being interviewed by you. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate that. And if you are demonstrate you can grow, you have the resume that you've been growing, and you're open to private credit rather than traditional bank, give us a shout. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Taimour.
Hi everyone, this is Sarah from Alphonse Global. We're here having our private banking retreat. It's a beautiful setting that gives a chance for our clients, visionaries and innovators to connect with these financial industry experts and CEOs of banks to fund and realize their dreams. We're building relationships with real people by connecting bankers and actual clients that are seeking to fund their projects.
What we've been able to do very successfully is putting small and medium-sized bank CEOs in an Airbnb for a period of time to get to know each other, to get out of their heads, to go out of their businesses, and be able to discover new ahas and insights.
4 different banks, and everybody had, something to offer, and everybody offered something different. So it was just done very well.
This is a fantastic opportunity for bankers all over the world and investors to connect and create impact with their projects to go beyond of what the financial industry is offering right now.
But have access to products and services that you wouldn't otherwise have access to. And having all of those individuals in the same room that you can talk to, you can ask them questions, you can learn from them, as well as even engage in contracts to do business. So it's been a wonderful experience.
It's been spectacular. A lot of things to learn, a lot of interesting people, interesting business owners with different varied backgrounds, but all humble and extremely good people, honest people with integrity.
We intend to do this more frequently because we have found that this is extremely successful.
I'd recommend anybody come to one of Taimour's events. I would gladly come to the next event.
And we would love for you to join us and discover how you can access alternative funding with Alphonse Global.
You won't regret it. Hi friends, I now want to take a minute and answer some of your frequently asked questions. One of the common questions I get a lot is, Taimour, we've learned a lot from you through your YouTube channel. How do we learn more? Can we fly down and meet your team? And the answer to all of that is yes, yes, and yes. But if you want to learn more, my first invitation is to become a member of Alphonse Global. You simply go to our website, alphonseglobal.com. You sign up to become a member for free. You get access to webinars, offshore events that we do, and content that we never, ever, ever, ever publish on YouTube. I promise you that it's worth becoming a member for sure. The second way that you can learn a lot is I'm a published author. Structured Financing, Demystified, Hypergrowth, just multiple books on Amazon that you can get access to. I highly recommend going and checking out some of these books, getting engaged into some of the stuff, that strategies and tactics that we're using for ourselves, for our families, for our friends. You definitely want to check these things out for sure. Another question, I guess, Taimour, why are you so passionate about getting a bank license? Why is that so important? Well, the truth is, our mission within Alphonse Global is to help businesses become self-funded for life. Imagine you run a coffee shop and I run a coffee shop. Imagine we buy the coffee beans from the same grower and my coffee shop is right across yours, like really right across yours. Our competition is probably nil. But if you have a bank license and I don't have a bank license, and let's say I made $500,000 and you made $500,000 in income, but if you have a bank license, you are depositing a bank license with a central bank of the country where you own your own private bank license. Let me repeat this again. You are depositing your money with the central bank of the country you have your bank license on. So $500,000 deposited with the central bank should give you a line of credit of 10 times multiples. So that means you get a line of credit of $5 million. Now, it's not free money, still not kind of $5 million. Now, if you draw that entire money out and you go to whichever country you're currently resonating in, the country you're doing business with, and you know in real estate, you want to buy a house, you put 20% down and you get a loan for 80%, same thing. You put $5 million down with a business plan to your local bank, whoever you bank with, and say, hey, I want to grow my business, my technology business, real estate business, pharmaceutical business, whatever business it is. I'm a venture capitalist. I'm putting $5 million down. Your bank gives you a loan at four times more, so now you get a $20 million loan. Now, it's not free money. It's not free money. It's $20 million loan. What can you afford to do with $20 million that I cannot afford to do with $500,000? Could you invest in artificial intelligence? Could you invest in hiring better people? Could you invest in advertising? Hell, with that amount of money, could you even buy auxiliary businesses or invest in auxiliary businesses? I say you can, and that's why we within All Funds Global are so passionate in helping clients become self-funded for life, and getting a private bank license is one of the vehicles that I am personally very passionate about helping clients on. Another question, I guess, Taimour, you charge a consultation fee. All Funds Global, the team charges a consultation fee. Why do you charge a consultation fee when you guys can make so much money on the back end? It somehow slows me down from taking a credit card and paying you money for it. Well, here's the truth. We offer our content, millions and millions of dollars worth of content complete for free on YouTube. We don't advertise as of the date of doing this video. We don't advertise on YouTube, Google, or we don't do any kind of advertising at all. And what we find is the volume of traffic that goes into YouTube attracts people that are tire kickers, people that are fraudsters, people that have mental health issues. When we charge a small consultation fee, this deters the hacker, the fraudster, the person who's shopping around, the tire kicker. It eliminates all that and allows me and my team to be on calls or meetings with customers we actually want to do business with. What a concept. Now comes, this is better. At the time of doing a transaction with a client, that fee they pay for a consultation call, we refund it. At the conclusion of us doing a transaction with a client, we refund 100% of all the monies that they paid on consultation fees. This allows us to work with people that are committed to working with us, are serious about working with us, are not tire kickers, are not people that are like, they don't know what banking 101 is, and they're there to waste our time and energy. Just eliminates that. And me and my team are very proud of doing that. Next question, I guess, Taimour, the alternative funding industry overall has a lot of fraudsters in it, has a lot of deep fake in it. What are you doing to protect us, protect yourself? So here's the answer to that. Any industry that has a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. Let me say this again. Any industry that attracts a lot of money by default attracts a lot of fraud. I don't know who you bank with. If you bank with one of the top 20 banks in the world, pick a bank you bank with, or you use payment processing companies like PayPal, these companies see a lot of fraud every day, from fraudsters mimicking their website to mimicking their email addresses, and in cases like mine, once a year or twice a year, some idiot, excuse my language, decides to copy my picture on social media, tries to create a fake profile of me, and goes on social media selling scammy transactions. Now, we have the technology and the resources to catch that, usually within 72 hours of that happening, and then cause legal action against that fraudster. We have the financial resources, thank God, to do that today, but that's just the nature of this industry. So what we do to protect ourselves is we never solicit on social media anything, nor do we solicit in general. We offer a lot of educational materials, but we don't solicit. You'll never see me or any of my associates on any social media trying to sell anything, ever. Second, all transactions that we do, money always has to go through a reputable law firm. All transactions we do, money always has to go to a reputable law firm. We never ask the client to send us money or anything like that. Now, I do want to take a minute and talk a little bit about my competitors. In the United States, in the US alone, US has 3% of the world's population, and they have over 60% of the world's lawyers. In the United States, that's a fact, have 3% of the world's population and over 60% of the world's lawyers. I have a lot of legitimate competitors in the United States and around the world that unfortunately have been sued for wrongful things that other people have done. There's a lot of negative stuff on social media or websites about some of my legitimate competitors. And I want to tell you that a lot of my competitors are legitimate, they're hardworking people. I know them, they deliver real results. And unfortunately, they have negative comments or fraud or even lawsuits against them. The reason within All Funds Global doesn't have a lawsuit against it, or me, Taimour, Zaman, don't have a lawsuit against me, or people on social media saying that we're fraudsters or something like that, is simply because of my lack of vision. Every company you deal with, every major company you deal with, whether it's the cars you drive, Ford, Lexus, I don't know, GM, or Facebook, Google, YouTube, whatever you use, or medicine you have, like Tylenol, that all of these companies have lawsuits against them. A lot of the companies you work with have litigations against them as just part of the growth. At some point, the business needs to grow exponentially, and that's when you have to see lawsuits as just the nature of the business growing. The fact that we don't have it is because of my lack of vision as the CEO and like trying to bark a tree like that. Now, I see that changing as we buy businesses that have other CEOs, as we grow. We have over 800 registered brokers with us. As that number grows, it's not normal for our business to continue growing without some idiot calling us fraudster, some idiot trying to sue us, or something like that. If you want to take advantage of the alternative funding industry, I'm going to tell you this is the industry I love. I'm going to tell you this is the industry that I've made a lot of money with. I'm going to tell you this is the industry I've helped a lot of clients make a lot of money with, friends and family make a lot of money with. And if this is an industry you want to get involved in, I recommend meeting the people you want to do business with, like physically flying out to meeting them. If you can afford to hire an investigator, we use a lot of former FBI, former CIA people. These are people you can hire to do background checks. It's not only do these people have lawsuits or not, or other losers calling them fraudsters or not. I'm telling you, a lot of my competitors are really good people, and they're not fraudsters. So do your own due diligence, listen to your intuition. We're really interested in working with some really good people that are vision-driven entrepreneurs that really want to serve the world. And I think we have some things that are really amazing to offer. Another question I get is, Taimour, we love all the services of Funds Global. What are the top 3 services you offer that we should really seriously think about, call you or your organization and get you guys involved? But my favorite service, the one that makes a lot of sense, is the trusted advisory service. This is when we become your chief banking officer. We work with your CFO, your legal team, the CEO, the COO. We look at where your organization is, where you want it to be. We look at banking programs that make sense for your type of business, that are proven and would work to generate access to alternative revenue sources for your business that makes sense. From that, we then create offshore tax structures, offshore bank accounts, offshore bank licenses for your organization, so the revenue that gets generated has a channel to go to that is well protected. We have a lot of domain expertise that I do not share ever on YouTube. It's not like a lawyer who's like, go create a trust account and cooks out it. Like we don't do. We do some very sophisticated stuff that I'm very proud of. That's our intellectual property. And so the trusted advisory services, where we become a trusted advisor, is one of the things that I would recommend everybody to look at. It's a monthly retainer, you pay for it, but let me tell you, for every penny you put in, that you get tens of dollars out of it. And I think you're not going to get this amount of expertise dedicated to your business. So that's something I would recommend you to think about and sign up for. Second one is if you're looking for access to capital, we have a lot of unique programs like Rent a Rich Uncle that we can support your organization as long as your organization is a successful business and not a startup, not somebody who's going bankrupt. It's a successful business that has real cash, real assets, and is generating something real, that's real growth. I think we have some avenues for accessing capital that others simply cannot offer. And the final one that I love is we have a lot of asset management structures that are very unique to our intellectual property that I'd love to share with you. If you have assets, you want to grow, you want to get bank license, you want to set up a trust, you want to work with multiple central banks, do some really cool stuff. I think I'm the only weirdest person that has real expertise and experience in doing this stuff. And so my name is Taimour, I'm from Alphonse Global. Thank you for following us up on YouTube. If you're doing that, thank you for trusting me. Thank you for trusting my team. And on behalf of my team, I just really want to say thank you. And we look forward to the opportunity of serving you.